Well, tonight we're investigating Florida's controversial plan for relieving traffic. It's adding toll lanes like the new express lane on the Veterans Expressway in Tampa. It's based on a project in Miami that has actually raised quite a few questions about safety and also cost.
And our Craig Patrick drove to South Florida to check this out in tonight's We the People.
$11. Holy mackerel. We're driving through an experiment in Miami that's expanding to Tampa Bay in Central Florida. And consumer watchdog Carlos Garcia says we're about to get burned.
Bordering on insane.
Bordering on?
Yes.
But not insane.
But not insane.
No, from the toll collector's perspective, it's actually pretty smart. They're adding toll lanes on existing roads.
That used to be a taxpayer-built lane.
Exactly.
That our gas taxes used to maintain.
Yes.
They're called express lanes, and they can help fund more express lanes.
So our taxes already paid to build and maintain the roads. We're paying the extra fees to add express lanes to other roads so that other drivers can pay extra fees?
Yeah, to keep on building more express lanes.
So that other drivers can pay extra fees to fund more express lanes.
So that keeps on going and going and going.
And those express lanes charge something called congestion pricing, meaning they charge more when traffic slows down.
So you're telling me the higher you pay, the slower you go?
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's right. Drivers may think they're paying a premium to dodge the jam, but the price shoots up because the express lane is jammed to try to discourage people from using it.
And they're now going faster than us.
Yeah.
This is what you get for around $11.
He was on the non-toll
They're going a lot
side.
faster than us.
Well, they're moving.
They're moving and we're not.
And they didn't pay $10.50.
Our state leaders say this is the future of transportation and the model for Tampa Bay, which is starting along the Veterans Expressway near Tampa. And look at this. It's already clogging up during rush hour, even before they start charging more to drive on it.
They're actually staying with 3 lanes with a slow lane as an express lane on the left-hand side, in my opinion.
So the express lane is the slow lane?
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
Mark Wallace is a Tampa roofer who says he's already paying around $3,000 a year in tolls. He does not want tolls now on top of tolls.
Waste of time, waste of real estate, we just waste it.
And there's one more thing we haven't shown you yet in Miami that we saw right off the bat.
Jeez. See that?
Lane divers.
Saw with your own eyes.
Here they are. Lane divers plunge through plastic barriers to lurch into the express lanes when it's moving or lurch out of it when it's not. And guess what that brings? State lawmakers who have tried to ban express lanes cite 12,000 crashes in 3 years, or around 11 per day, just in Miami-Dade express lanes. Cynthia Fleischman was one of the victims. A lane diver plunged through the barrier into her, and she lost her leg.
It's an invitation for cars to come through them.
That brings us to our questions now for James Wolf, the state's transportation secretary in South Florida.
Is this express lane project worth Cynthia Fleischman's leg?
We design roads as safely as we can, and we react to the conditions and make them safer.
Are the express lanes as safe as they can be?
Or you said as safe as could be. We're always trying to make things safer.
To that end, he did upgrade and add more poles to at least cut down on lane diving. And Florida's Turnpike, which runs Tampa Bay's new express lane along the Veterans, is using those same upgrades.
Anyone concerned about the cost of those lanes and thinks it's not of value to them should take the alternative.
In terms of value, Wolf says his data shows when you add express lanes, on average, all lanes move faster, even though watchdogs like Carlos Garcia don't see it.
You could stand on I-95.
I wouldn't recommend that.
No, or near I-95. No, wouldn't recommend that. But if there was video footage of 2 years ago, you could just see the congestion is greater now on the non-toll side. Yes.
Carlos also says these tolls are regressive because they take the heaviest toll on the common man.
Wherever the work areas are, where the workforce housing is usually in the further points out, and this is a concern for a lot of people.
Well, the CEO of Florida's Turnpike wasn't ready for that one.
Is this kind of toll regressive?
Could you explain that? Or?
Meaning that it disproportionately hits people with low incomes.
And if you're a plumber and you can get in more trips per day, you're going to use these lanes.
Of course, that could drive up our plumbing bills, depending on how high the tolls go, which for us here in Tampa is still anyone's guess.
What would the maximum toll at the peak of rush hour ever be?
That hasn't been established yet.
Would there be a range?
Yeah, and then that's something that hasn't been determined yet.
Can you assure veterans drivers that they will absolute peak down the road at $11?
Yeah, I don't have a...
Again, the goal is to relieve congestion, and even with the rush hour hiccups we've seen, he said cars are on average still moving a little faster in the Veterans Express lane.
The average travel speed's about 5 mile difference, faster.
That would mean if you drove 60 instead of 55 on the 6-mile stretch, you'd save around 30 seconds.
What does that mean in terms of time savings?
It's remarkably little.
And maybe even less if it takes off, or rather bogs down, anything like its inspiration in Miami.
This is a parking lot.
Yeah, a parking lot. A lot of people are paying a lot of money to be standing in a parking lot.
Very interesting. The first phase of the Veterans Express lane opened in December. Again, we don't know what the peak fee will be yet, but the state expects to charge between 50 cents and $2 during rush hour.